My name is Muneera Rashida, and I'm half of the spoken word and hip hop duo Poetic Pilgrimage.
And my name is Sukina, and I'm the second half of the spoken word and hip hop duo Poetic Pilgrimage.
These days there is a lot of mixtures, and as Poetic Pilgrimage and as individuals, we're inspired by various different forms of music, you know. So I guess like living in inner city London, you know, we take on to different influences like that we hear in music. We are lovers of hip hop, you know. We did start off doing hip hop, so I guess probably hip hop is our biggest fuel. But then, you know, you have different music genres that fuel us as well. You have different subject matters that fuel us as well. So it is just, I guess, a product of being in a multicultural society and being like hearing different things and seeing different things makes us who we are.
We have many different messages. I think when we started out, we definitely had this kind of desire to be the voice of the voiceless and represent people whose voices didn't get heard, or represent news that you don't see on TV. A lot like Gil Scott-Heron, like the things that they don't say on CNN or BBC. I think as we've grown into our art form, I think we've definitely become into a point where we kind of, our message is definitely from the heart. It's our message of ourselves as women, as Muslim women, as black women, as British women, as, you know, children of our parents, you know what I mean, as children of migrants, of, you know, people that are, you know, affected by the goods and bads of being in a multicultural society. So I definitely think we definitely try to bridge gaps, and we definitely try within our music to have a dialogue and a discourse. It's not just about us being on stage talking to the audience. Generally, when we do a hip hop set, it's call and response. It's a two-way street. We give and they give, you know. So yeah, many themes, but generally I just think it's just the voice of the soul.
To be truthful, in different tracks we're addressing different people. Sometimes we're speaking to ourselves, you know. Sometimes, because in the early part of our career, we spent so much time speaking about different people, about, you know, what this person's doing, what that person's doing, that we didn't actually talk to ourselves. So sometimes, especially with this new project we've got called Star Woman, we're taking time out to talk to ourselves and like address the issues that we have as women, you know. So it depends on the song. Sometimes we're talking to the Muslim community saying, fix up. Sometimes we're saying to, like, you know, the wider society, like, stop harassing Muslims. Sometimes we're saying to like black community, you know, fix up. Sometimes, you know, so the different times it's to different people, but it is the only thing I can really say, as Sukina already, you know, said, the only thing that I can reiterate is that it's very much from the heart, you know. So it's to different people, it's just dialogues with different people.
And I just wanted to add as well, one thing is that one thing I realized as well as an artist is that sometimes you have an audience in mind. Like you might write something and be like, I'm talking to, you know, the young inner city Muslim community, for example. But then there might be like a white man in Australia who's like 60 years old who sends me an email and is like, I'm touched by what you do. You know, or we might be talking to women, but men are touched by what we do. So I realized that sometimes you just kind of have to, you know, produce art from the heart, and I think it speaks to everyone, you know what I mean? Like, it's not really, I realize that you can't always have too much of an audience in mind. You just kind of need to speak from the heart, and then it will speak to whoever it's supposed to and mean whatever it's supposed to mean to that person.
Yeah, where do you get your earrings?
My friend is a compulsive shopper, and every now and again she decides to chuck loads of stuff out. So one woman's junk is another woman's treasure.
Yep, I think I got mine from the same place.
Yeah?
Yep.
Have you always been Muslim?
No, converted to Islam 6 years ago.
6 years?
Yeah. Both of us same time.
Actually, we won't go into all that because this is a different thing together. But sorry to bring this into this conversation. But when you hear like Muslims are burning churches in Egypt, you as Muslims, what do you make? How do you feel about it?
I mean, I feel personally that is wrong, of course. One thing that I do know, there's definitely a difference between like Muslims and Islam and like a state that is trying to control people. And wherever you go, where you have like politics and you have like the politics and religion mixing, it doesn't tend to be a good thing. I am a Muslim because I like the lifestyle that it preaches. I like the lifestyle that it teaches and the different like moral things that are within the Quran. But I don't, the same way how I would never judge a Christian by or a Christian by like all Christians, or judge the Bible by the actions of some Christians, I would never judge the actions of Muslims or like the state of Muslim people by like, you know, I would never put the Quran into that. Muslim people are flawless ultimately, and you know, generally religion and, you know, the teachings tend not to be so flawless like people.
Two last questions. When is your next project? And have you published your work?
Well, at the moment we've got a brand new project which is called Star Women, which is a project that we're promoting at the moment, and we're working on a new project at the moment with a UK producer called Agent of Change. We're both in the process of travelling as well, so we're both going to be going abroad to study. She's going to be going to Sudan, and I hope to be going to Qatar. So we're kind of also in a period where we kind of want to grow and move and learn new things and come back and create new things. So I really feel like, you know, what the future holds, I think is very positive for us, and I think we've got a lot more to give, but right now I think we've got a lot more to learn. So
so your project is it within England or within London? This project, next time when you perform?
Next time in terms of performances.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, we perform all the time. So up until the time that I'll be leaving, which is January, you know, we'll be, if you go on our Facebook, onto our Twitter, look for Poetic Pilgrimage, literally Google search Poetic Pilgrimage, you'll be able to find out about dates, when we're doing things, what we're up to, what we're promoting, and all these sorts of things.
Ladies, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Joseph. It's been such a pleasure.